Good morning, my fellow Americans. Today, we're faced in a great battle, a battle against ignorance. That ignorance, my friends, well, has brought us to the brink of extinction. And as I sit here, pondering what might come, I must say to you, it is dire. It is very dire, my friends. More than we can ever expect. This COVID 19, as we ignore what we need to do, as we try to assert independence over common sense, it is bringing great travesty to our country. In a non-free society that we live in as is, to scream freedom in the time of when we need security most. Seems to me, for all those that claim, I want to live in a free country, I want to do what I want to do. Well, where are you with prohibition? Where are you for women's rights? Where are you for the oppression that is happening in our country today? Where are you? See, there is this contradiction of terms. I only want things that I want. I only want the freedoms that I want. I don't want to allow other people freedoms. We build walls. And one of the answers to COVID 19 would be a 60-day stay-at-home order nationwide. That's right. But it's going to take everybody. And unfortunately, not everybody is on board. And that is the greatest threat we face in our country today. It is with great sadness that we are going to lose at least 250,000 or more Americans within the next 2 to 3 months. It is great travesty that, well, our current leadership doesn't have the cojones to make the education out there mandated for people. And then we have people so arrogant and selfish that they themselves put money before life. And guess what? The economy is going to slowly recover because there won't be people in there as part of the economic system. The economic system does have a cycle, my friends. And that cycle includes us, the consumers. With less consumers, a worse cycle develops. We need to look at the bigger picture. What is best for us? Truly, the most selfish act that you could do is stay at home. Unfortunately, leaders across the country cannot agree. Though we have seen that the only way that these other countries have resolved the issue is by lockdown. Complete and utter lockdown. We can do this. We must have a momentary monetary failure and able to preserve life. Life and all life is precious. It's with great uncertainty that I know that our country is going to fall. It's going to fall in the death rate. It's going to fall because of social injustice. It's going to fall because we lack leadership on all aspects, not just in the White House, but down to your local law enforcement. The leadership is not there. The biases are still there. The separations are still there. And because of that, our nation will fall. The Founding Fathers dreamt of a utopian society almost when we formed the Republic. The Republic basically was formed so we were not ruled by anybody. We were ruled by a set of rules and protections. The Constitution. The Constitution has been manipulated, propagandized, and no longer really seems to serve the value except for the special interest. You know, those that have the gold, those that make the rules. Even the elite have gotten to the highest office in our country, to the lowest office in our country. It is the love of money above all else. We do not at this time see a greater good, and we must find a greater good in our country. That's why we need to all sacrifice. We all need to sacrifice for the greater good. We need to put away the fiat currency. We need to forget about debts. We need to forget about that, but we need to preserve life. And with our life preserved, we will have liberty. We can't have liberty in death. This is greater good because you're not just responsible for yourself. You are responsible for your neighbors. You are responsible for your family. You're responsible for every life on this planet. It is your duty. It is to be a real American, is to follow that creed of freedom in the preservation of all. The best thing we can do is to stay at home. Stay at home. I may not be able to put out an executive order. States may not be able to mandate laws. Cities may not be able to mandate laws. But what we can do is each do our part. And in doing our part, we will have a movement. And that movement will save this country and save life as we know it. It's not a sickness for just the elderly or just for the youth. It is a sickness of all mankind that we are facing. One that is unprecedented in the history books. And this is a pivotal moment in our time that we can make a difference. We must stay at home. We must encourage our political fellows to also order the stay-at-homes. Every state in this union needs to be locked down for the next 60 days. We need to ask the American people to shelter in place, to ration what they need, to put aside the luxuries that we're accustomed to. We need to ask all restaurants to shut down. We need to make the National Guard available to deliver food to those that can't cook or get food delivered to them because of the restaurant shutdown. We must do this. We must take this seriously. It is the only way that we will survive. We will lose 20% of our population otherwise if this task is not failed. Or greater. We will be far greater loss than Italy or Brazil. And the recovery time will be long. Again, I ask you and plead you, stay at home, urge your public officials to issue stay-at-home orders, and we issue Congress to act to make sure that all the American people are protected once this pandemic is over. Till then, I ask all financial institutions to halt the collections on any bills, to halt everything. Only essential workers, those that keep our power grids, those even in the fake media, those in the medical staff, emergency services, our military, our National Guard, those are all that should be there. We need to turn this country into a shelter in place. It should look like a ghost town. We should be so lucky that we have the opportunity and the information to know that this will save us. Until there is a vaccine, this needs to be the process. We cannot go any further like we are going. There is no reopening. Parents, it is upon you to now educate your children while you are at home. A responsibility that you is fallen to the government way too much. If anything we should learn from this, it is time to shrink the government and drain the swamp. It is time. We need smaller government. We need more individual responsibilities. And now you people of this country are responsible for the lives of your fellow Americans. And the only way to embrace the lives and to save people is stay at home. I can't urge that enough. We need to ration food. As right now, our food supply chains are being hit hard. Our food deserts are being hit hard, the hardest. And with that said, we need to ration what we're eating. America already had a health crisis of obesity. Now it's time to address that. And in doing so, by rationing, we'll be able to also, out of the kindness of this epidemic, address that. We need to make our America healthy again. And the only way to make it healthy again is to stay at home, ration our food, and to make ourselves better citizens for the greater good. This is not an executive order. This is not a law, but it is what we need to do in each of our hearts. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America, and may we all do the right thing.